And again, as everything is interlinked, the next segment of the discussion will be going straight into how to find your shine. So finding your shine, Clara Rufai, after we have established that it's never too late for us to start today, we want to be able to find out how we can find our shine and come out bright regardless of when we start. Over to you.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. Thank you so much. Nike and Cresta, you guys have set the bar high. But I want to start by saying thank you to Ibinabo Enevi and her IB Speaks team. You guys are amazing. Thank you for putting this conversation together. We really need to be having conversations like this because sometimes you need that reminder. You need that reminder to keep you on track. You need that reminder to motivate, to inspire, to provoke, to challenge. So it's really, really amazing when we have these, shall I say, avenues to encourage one another, to inspire one another. So I'm going to go straight into my presentation, and I'm basically here to encourage you, to motivate, to inspire, right? I have several titles that people know me by, but the titles that mean the most to me in this whole wide world are titles such as Inspirer, Enabler, Encourager, and Value Adder. And I'm hoping that tonight I'll be able to do all of those things or be all of those things to you. And my simple presentation just says that you've got to shine. Find it. Like, I'm not even taking no for an answer, just as God, your Father, your Creator will not take no for an answer. He absolutely created every single one of us and put value, put something precious inside of us, right? So it's how to connect with that thing that is so precious inside of us and how that we can activate it and, leverage all the relationships we can leverage to shine as brilliantly as we can so that even God is proud of us and the world is a brighter place because we passed through it. So I'm basically going to start by saying this. Right? A lot of times, the world of social media, life has taught us to only put forward, what is brilliant, what is beautiful, what looks perfect. You go on social media and, everybody's husband or spouse is the most beautiful, everyone's car is the best, everyone has a perfect smile, all the faces are well made up and everything. There is this unspoken competition because everyone is trying to project a certain persona or a certain thing on social media. But the truth is that I encourage people, when I do my coaching and my mentoring, I encourage people to own up to their scars, to own up to every single one of their shared experiences. And as I go on, you'll understand how that has helped me as a person to come into my own, to own my brilliance and to be able to speak unapologetically about who I am and why I'm here on the face of the earth. So I want to just say to you, I want to provoke you by saying that, the shine, shining comes from adversity, right? When I wrote my book, Prison Break, in 2016, I started by sharing a piece of Maya Angelou's poem. Maya Angelou's poem that says, I know why the caged bird sings. The truth of the matter is, as Nike alluded, and Cresta also alluded when she talked about, when you are tilling a farmland, or you haven't tilled or walked on a farmland for some time, you'll see weeds, you'll see that the grass is dry, and then you need to start to cultivate the ground before you can actually do the planting. And Nike spoke about how do you know that it is time to transition? She spoke about just things like the number of years, for instance, that you've been maybe in paid employment or you've been doing a certain thing for about 15 years and you feel a little bit stale in that space. The truth is that place is a place of containment, it's a place of limitation, it's a place of restriction. You feel like you're missing something, you feel like every other person has got it going good, except for you. So that's the place of the caged bird. But I want to offer you some hope, right? I want to tell you that the caged bird, that place of caging, right? And by the way, when I talk about prison, in my book, The Prison Break, the prison for me simply is anything that holds you bound or limited or constrained so that you're not able to live your fullest life. So you're not able to live optimally and be and do all that God has called you to be and do. So when you find yourself in that cage, remember that the only song or the sweetest song that the caged bird can sing is the song of freedom. So you begin to feel like that place where you are is constraining you. You feel uncomfortable. You feel like you have to absolutely move forward. That's when you need insight. That's when you need illumination. And it is on that basis that I like to talk about my, Shine philosophy, for instance, but I'll go into that a little bit further down the line. So here's what I want to say. When you come to that place, right, where you know that you have more to give, and today we're talking about refreshing to relaunch. And I know it's a brand new year, the first month of the year. I mean, can you imagine how quickly January has gone by? But the truth of the matter is a lot of us came from 2021 with the same mindset, with the same attitudes, with the same thoughts, with the same job, with the same everything around us, the same. Even for those of us who actually say that we have New Year resolutions, what's good is a New Year resolution if you don't have a new mindset, if you don't have a refreshed mindset, if you don't have an enabled mindset? How are you going to be able to execute it? It will just be a case of doing the same thing over and over again and expecting to see change, right? So when you're feeling trapped, if you feel trapped, right, or restricted, or you feel like you're unable to fully express yourself, you don't know how to get from where you are to where you need to go, you feel like you are not sure what to do to unlock the best side of you, your skills, your talents, your gifts. You don't know what you need to do to unlock your inner brilliance. You're yearning for an opportunity to shine, to be like Ivy, to be like, Nike, to be like Cresta, to be like Dr. Tonya and Dr. Abiye, who seem to have it all together. Guess what? We don't have it together. We don't have it all together. We are just, as Cresta suggested, doing it afraid. We are doing it anyway. We are taking action in the direction of our dreams. That's the difference. So that's why I feel like it is critical I get this message across that you too can. There's a shine in you just as there's a shine in me, and there is a call, if you like, there's a commission that we all have to take up our mantle, of our shine mantle, to wrap it around ourselves and to go on our shine journey boldly and courageously. So your shine can come from adversity. For me, the shine philosophy is something that I spent many years cooking in the oven, and it was born out of my own personal life-changing experience, how I overcame depression after the tragic loss of 2 younger sisters in one day. Now that's something that, threw me into extreme depression. But as I began to heal, I became consumed with a desire to immortalize my sisters. And I didn't know how to do it. I felt like it didn't need to be anything grandiose. It didn't need to be anything, fabulous or whatever. I just wanted to find a way to honor their memory. I sat down and I thought about it, and I said, okay, their lives had been cut short, and they were no more. They had plans, they had dreams, their dreams could no longer be achieved because they had crossed over. So the only way I knew to immortalize them, to keep their memory alive, to honor their memory, if you like, was to, try and discover my own life's purpose and to try and shine with it and encourage others to shine in their own life as well. So that's how my shine journey began. That's what I refer to simply as my shine journey. It was my journey of self-acceptance, self-actualization, as it were. But to be honest, I didn't really realize it as such when I was, I came out of mourning my sisters, came out of that spiraling web of depression, those years, those dark years. I didn't realize that I was embarking on a shine journey or anything fantastic. I just felt, I was in a really bad and gray place, and thank God for his mercies, he's led me out of that path and everything. But I eventually came to see the connection. I saw how, that particular painful, life-altering, tragedy I saw that it was so interconnected with so many things. It was interconnected with my upbringing. It was interconnected with my leadership qualities, my love for inspiring other people through my writing. I love to write little short limericks, inspirational pieces, but I'm the first partaker. Those pieces inspire me first before they even inspire anybody else. And I desire above all things, this is something that I think is one of my superpowers. I love to celebrate others. I always see the good in others. I'm a diehard optimist. I always see the glass as half full, not half empty. So in 2016, I was able to, when I wrote my book, Prison Break, and launched it, And on the back of that, I thought, so what next? What now? And I decided to craft my thoughts into a kind of strategy, a kind of philosophy, a kind of ideology, which I now call the Shine philosophy. That became my strategic guideline. And I've been using that to empower not just myself, but I've been using it to empower people with the understanding of what it means to operate with a personal brilliance mindset. And I'm glad that Cresta mentioned this. She alluded to this when she said, do not compare, do not compete, run your own race. Dance to the sound of your own drum beats. It is so important we learn that and we own it, because if not, you'll keep comparing, you'll never measure up. But if you realize, when people are running a race, and if someone was running a 100-meter race, and in their last competition, they ran that race in, say, 1 minute, 13 seconds or something, and they compete again, or during their training, they're able to bring that down by 1 second, 1 minute. That's their personal best. And it's something to celebrate, because what matters is that you have improved. So I have to emphasize, we can all shine. I'm basically all about democratizing the concept of shining. And as a Shine strategist, my mission is very simple, really, is to very humbly awaken people to their inner greatness so that they can shine the spotlight on their brilliance. And I'll explain. As I said earlier, I believe that we all carry the torch of greatness within us, right? But the sad reality is that, the pressures of life happens, and pressures will come along, and then they will try to douse the fire of our brilliance until we're living a fraction of our lives. We don't know who we really are. We don't know why we're here. We feel like we're just cluttering up the landscape. We don't know how to get from, that constricted place, that prison I spoke about. We don't know how to leave our prison and move up into our palaces. And we are to understand, and that if you get nothing else, get this tonight, that we are here not just to merely go through the motions of living. We are here for a bigger purpose. Right? We are here for a bigger purpose. The thing is, many of us are either we don't realize this fact, or we somehow forget it in the course of living life, doing life, and we proceed to just do business as usual. And it cannot be business as usual, because when you do business as usual, you get to a point in your life, or God forbid, the end of your life, when you're lying there in bed and you're about to cross over, and it's the end is here, and you're asking, who am I? What have I been doing? What did I do with my life? And that's not a good place to be. So the starting point to coming out of that place I would suggest, is to understand your worth as a person. Didn't I just say? If I didn't, I'll repeat it again. We all have greatness inside of us. So understand your worth, understand your value. And I think that just means that you understand who you are and how you can make a difference in this world, through your service, through connecting with other people, through putting out there your brilliance, your talents, your gifts that we spoke about. You have to know what you're great at. Cresta hinted at this as well. Know what it is that you're good at, and know what it is that sets your soul on fire. That really matters, because I'm speaking about passion now. So understand what it is that you are called, who it is that you're called to serve. That also matters, because oftentimes when you find your gifts and your talents, the next step must be that you create something of value with them and you serve it to the people who need it. Do you see what I mean? And that's why I say, don't shy away from your stories or your lived experiences. Every single one of I don't believe in any such thing as failures, because they talk about failing forward. When you fail, it's just another opportunity to learn how not to do things, how to do things better, how to do things differently. So understanding your story, owning it, scars and all, the good, the bad, and the ugly, can really connect you to the people that you're called to serve. Because listen, we have all sorts of titles. I met somebody the other day who is a grief expert. There's all sorts of people helping other people to come to terms with their experiences, with their lives, and to just live life optimally. So understand your story, understand what you're good at. That's the starting point, accepting that you matter. You're not here to merely clutter up the landscape. You matter. Your dreams, your aspirations, your desires, they all matter. When you recognize that, your own value, that you yourself, you carry value, but then you also recognize that not only do you carry value, others around you carry value. I always say this thing. I say, listen, every coach has a coach, every mentor has a mentor, every teacher has a teacher. And that is how God intended it, that we should all coexist and interrelate, and there's always something to learn. For me, I'm a lifelong student. I love to learn from people, right? So esteeming yourself while also esteeming others, recognizing your essence, but you also, in doing that, you also recognize the essence that other people carry. Right. So that keeps you humble. That makes you not to be arrogant, and to understand that, we are all a piece of the puzzle that makes life beautiful. It's about perceiving, if you like, I think of it as perceiving your own fragrance, but also being conscious of the fact that as human beings, right, our collective human scent can be far more powerful and far more memorable, more lasting, when we all combine our fragrance, our individual fragrances, with the fragrance that other people carry. That's what I absolutely believe. Don't mind me, I'm a poet and I'm a romantic at heart. So I have a funny way of putting my points, describing what I want to say, but hopefully you're getting something from this session. Right, so the shine philosophy simply is this: it teaches that everyone has a shine ability. And these are the qualities inside a person that they can harness in order to help them shine, right? And to shine simply means, if you ask me what does it mean to shine, I'll tell you, it means to soar higher into new expressions. Do you recognize the S, the H, the I, the N, and the E? They're to soar higher into new expressions. The reason I like that definition is that no matter who you are, right, and no matter how far along your shine journey you are, whether you're just beginning or you're in the middle or whatever, there's always a next level up. And you set the goal for yourself, right? Not in a way that stresses you out and makes you feel like, I have to be, I have to be doing some kind of feverish activity all the time, but in a way that doesn't let you settle into rot, in a way that tells you and the universe that I'm still alive, I'm still with it, I'm still living, therefore I must express. So shining is about striving to improve ourselves in the little ways, right? Constantly seeking new ways to express our brilliance. Expressing our brilliance is simply like shining the spotlight on those unique qualities, those qualities that make us unique as individuals. On the other hand, if you ask me, yes, but what does this really mean? I'll tell you, okay, the shine philosophy can be broken down, and it represents 5 strategic shine steps: the start, the harness, the identify, the network, and the express. Right? It is so critical. If we follow this step, we cannot go wrong. But let me pose a question before I conclude my presentation. What would it take for you to, do you believe that you are shining optimally? Maybe IB can make that a poll. Do you believe that you're shining optimally? And remember that there's so many ways, many things to look at. Just as if you were writing a goal for the new year, you wouldn't just be looking at, you'd be looking at relationships, you'd be looking at career goals, business goals, financial goals, spiritual goals, and things. So tell me, do you think you're shining optimally, right? Do you think you're shining optimally? That is so critical, because out of that, I would ask, normally when I coach with people, out of that, I would ask, so what do you think is currently in your life that you need to lose? And what do you think you're missing that you need to imbibe or you need to bring into your life? What is it that you currently do not have that you need to take on, that you need to gain? What is it that you need to change? Because change is the only constant in life. And sometimes changing your mindset, it's not sometimes, like all of the time, changing your mindset is the best place to begin your journey to transition, your journey to refresh or to relaunch or to do anything whatsoever. So we must learn to unlock. When we answer that question, it will help us to unlock our shine factor. Now, each and every one of us has been bestowed with gifts to shine, to walk in a unique purpose and all of that. And I do nothing but remind people every day, the glass is half full. Life throws you lemons, make lemonade. And I'm not saying that to hide my head in the sand and say, oh, people aren't going through stuff or people are not going through challenges or whatever. No, but I'm just saying that just sitting down there and feeling sorry for yourself, for me, is a disempowering position to be in. So I prefer, to be on top of things. I prefer to take charge of my life. Right? So it is a transformational ideology. For me, it has proved so. It is based on that singular belief. We are intentionally designed by God, with purpose, and every one of us carries a light of greatness. And call it a belief system, think of it as a mindset, think of it even as a way of living. It is all of those things rolled into one. So it's a strategy for living a purpose-driven life. That's what it is, because it encourages us to look inward. It encourages us to connect with our inner greatness and to showcase our brilliance. Now, I said before about the place of confinement and how it helps us to actually grow into where we are supposed to go. That is so true. And I cannot emphasize it too much. But breaking down the shine steps as I begin to round up now, breaking down the shine steps, right? I want to say that there are some personal traits that we need to have as individuals that will help us to shine brighter. We're already shining to shine brighter. One of them is the passion for excellence, right? The second one is an ability for an ability to do honest self-reflection, right? I think both Nike and Cresta alluded to this. And it is also the third one is to be on a mission to find your purpose, the reason you are here on this planet. Why are you here? Whose life are you supposed to touch? Who are you? Where are you going? What do you have in your hands? Cresta talks about that again. What do you have in your hands that you can use to make a difference in the world? And also having, another thing is having an awareness of the value of your life experience. Ivy talked about in her promo video, she talked about that her panel of speakers were going to share not just their expertise, but their experienced expertise. And I thought, what a clever coinage, because that simply tells me that our experiences are not in vain. They are not for nothing. I truly believe that our stories are not for us. Our stories are supposed to connect us. When we speak them with confidence and courage and unapologetically, our stories are supposed to connect us to the people that we're called to serve on this planet, right? It's almost like magic. It will just, magically draw those people into your space. When I wrote my book, that was the case. The moment it went on Amazon, the people that were reaching out to me were the very people that I wanted to connect with, to help them, because I felt like I understood the space where they were, right? So committing to achieving an alignment between your passion or your purpose, your life goals, and the road that you are currently traveling on. Because a lot of us are just focused on the 9 to 5 or my business or my job or whatever it is that we're doing. And yet our spirits and our souls are crying out for more. So we need to commit to continually evolve, to continually have a growth mindset. And I teach something I call the I am perspective. I am, I-A-M. And the I there stands for having that internal dialogue with yourself. I, me, and myself kind of conversation. It's got to be very intimate, but at the same time, very, it has to be honest. You have to ask honest questions of yourself, give yourself honest answers, and from there, you'll be able to distill the way forward. Because even though you can work with coaches, and I totally encourage that. I worked with a coach to write my book. I'm working with a coach even now to manage aspects of my brand and everything. But I think that you are your own rescue. You are your own first coach. So that self-discipline or personal leadership or whatever so matters. So the mental script you have in your head, that is the make or break. That's the first thing that needs to change. That's the first thing that you need to critically analyze. The internal dialogue, the I there in the I am stands for internal dialogue. And what it is that that's when you have that internal dialogue and you're able to be naked before yourself, it will lead you to recognize your achievement potential. You would, be able to recognize that, I'm not a waste of space. Oh my God, I have this skill, I have this talent. Oh my God, I'm brilliant, or I could do something with it. I'm not there yet, but I am enough. I have what it takes and I can do this. That's what you have to have that even before you can reach out to anybody, any external party to say, can I coach with you? Can I mentor with you? So the I, internal dialogue, A, achievement potential. But guess what? It now leads to the M, which is meaningful progress. That leads you to make meaningful progress on your journey. So that shine factor mindset, understanding the importance of your story, your lived experiences, will prove priceless. And for me personally, it has proved priceless in helping me to build followers and captivated clients, if you like, clients who they just gel with me. You know what I mean? I don't know what it is. There's something about her. And it also reminds me to mention here the importance of authenticity and being true to yourself. And that ties back again to what Cresta said about not competing, not comparing. So really, there are 5 steps that I want to quickly live with you. And on that note, I will bring my session to a close. To break, and that's to offer you a breakdown of the shine steps, the 5 steps. As I said, S is for start, right? We must start our journey to purpose, our journey to fulfillment, if you like. Start now, right? Start now. Start from where you are. Start with what you have right now in your hand, your talents, your gifts, your whatever. Start with what you know right now. Don't wait for the perfect time. Nike talked about this. There is no such thing as a perfect time. It's a myth. There's no time when all the ducks are going to line up in one row. There's no time when all the cows will come home to roost, as they say. It doesn't exist. Perfect time doesn't exist. So start now. And it's the beginning of a brand new year. It's just leverage on that newness, right? And start now. That would be my encouragement to you. H stands for harness, right? We must harness our abilities and our unique qualities. Harness your gifts, harness your talents, your special skills, and build on them. Those things that make you unique, those things that nobody can quite do them the way you do them. That's your USP, your unique selling point, if you like. So harness those things. And again, I'm just brushing through because of how short a time we have. This is an entire course when I work with clients, but you understand what I'm saying. I hope you get something from it. Then the I there stands for identity. We must identify our shine factor, what it is that makes us unique, what it is that gives us that edge, if you like. Because yes, we all have it. You just have to discover it. And you need to also identify your message, identify your platform, and identify who it is that you're called to serve. Because identifying your shine factor, your gifts, your talents, and your message, you now have a message, you now have a platform. Of course, you're going to be on that platform as the poster child, or as the, people are going to be drawn to you. So you have to know who it is that you're called to serve, because you're certainly not called to serve everyone. So identify who you want to, your target audience, your ideal client, your customer, and as they say, your tribe. Find your tribe. Identify what sets you apart from others. Identify the problems and, relevant problems, and how you can create positive solutions that you can monetize. Right? So networking basically means that, basically talks about we networking effectively and purposefully, because there's such a thing as, there's such a thing as purposeful and effective networking. That means that we are building and nurturing and leveraging relationships that can help us achieve our purpose. You know how we talked about that grand plan, that big purpose, whether it's in our businesses or in our personal lives, but we have to build the right kind of, relationships, network with the right kind of people that will help us to nurture, build, and leverage on relationships that can help us, collaborate with other people, people who are already working in their brilliance, who are already traveling in the same direction as you. Connection is key to building that success that you desire. And the final thing, E, is to express. We must express ourselves so that the world sees our actions and our activities to be a true and authentic reflection of our vision, our mission, and our purpose. Who do people say I am? It's easy for us, especially with social media, it's easy for us to posture. It's easy for people to tell lies on social media, to claim to be who they are not. Sometimes people are offering solutions that even they themselves have not practiced or have not experienced, and they cannot lay claim to having achieve those successes. But depending on how good you are, depending on how good your makeup artist is, depending on how good your photographer is, you can actually seem to be somebody that you're not. That's the sad thing about social media. So what I would say is that when people, after connecting with you, after connecting with your project, your passion, connecting with your business or whatever, they are able to leave with a positive impression of you, then you are there. You have expressed yourself in a way that is in alignment with your mission, your vision, and your life purpose. It has to be a reflection. There has to be a connection. So expressing your shine by finally stepping into what I call your shine zone. And your shine zone is that place of congruence, that place where you feel at home, that place where you feel like, you look around you, you survey everything, and you're like, it's not that everything is perfect. Like I said, perfect doesn't exist. But when you're in that shine zone, you feel empowered. You feel like, bring it on. like I can conquer, I can take on anything. And when you feel that way, the courage is there, the clarity is there, you are feeling pumped up. No matter what life throws at you, you can overcome. So let the world witness your brilliance. Use your talents, use your business, use your service to radiate a glow by adding value and by providing solutions. When you are doing that, you are in the shine zone of your life. That special, unique place, that sweet spot where you can, if you like, effortlessly bedazzle and inspire the world to greatness just by being yourself, just by being your unique, authentic self. That is the best place. That's the place where we meet the best versions of ourselves. And that's the place that we should all be seeking in this brand new year and beyond. That's where we should all be seeking to travel to. So if you're ready to meet the best version of yourself, if you're ready to develop habits, maybe if you don't already have those habits, if you're ready to develop habits, develop relationships that will help you move into your shine zone, then you're in a good place. And if you're thinking, she's making sense, I need to go back down. I need to go back after this and put pen to paper, as Cresta suggested, because write the vision, make it plain. And if you're thinking this year is going to be amazing, because I'm actually going to ask myself those I, me, and myself questions. I am going to relocate. I'm going to find, if you like, a new identity. I'm going to actually use the keys to open the doors to my palace, escape my prison, enter into my palace, and all of that, then my job here is done, really. So again, I would just say to shine is to soar higher into new expressions. You have a shine in you. You can find it. You sit down and you do what I call a shine assessment. When you do that, and by the